everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is Monique Samuels weighing into the current drama and ongoing fight between Mia Thornton and Wendy Osefo that played out with a drink toss and some hypocrisy. But before we dive in, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Check out our description box down below and shop our love collection. So with that, you guys, let's dive right into the mess. So this is according to Reality Blurb. Let's go in. It says, Real Housewives of Potomac, Monique Samuel reacts to Mia Thornton tossing drink at Wendy Osefo. Shades Candiace and, quote, miserable cast as Candiace claps back. On a dramatic episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Mia Thornton threw her drink at castmate Wendy Osefo, who seemingly made insinuations about Mia's marriage. The altercation occurred after Mia called out Wendy over her business dealings with Peter, aka Patricia Thomas. After the incident, Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon suggested Wendy was the antagonizer. Side note here, Giselle and Robin, shut up. You guys have literally no leg to stand on. Robin, you are extremely aggressive. Giselle, you are extremely antagonizing. The two of you together is barely palpable. Please just shut up, bow out, mind your business, worry about getting a storyline, worry about getting a man, worry about making some money, mind your business. Leave Wendy alone. Okay. Now, let's keep going and dive back in, you guys. Let's do it. Dun, 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 dun. All right. In response, Wendy pointed to Giselle and Robin's hypocrisy. They'd previously condemned Monique Samuels for her physical altercation with Candiace Dillard Bassett. Side note, that is an appropriate comparison because violence, assault in any form, whether it's throwing a drink, whether it's throwing a punch, whether it's throwing a slap, is not okay. And it is traumatic to the person on the receiving end. And, it's also traumatic to the person who's doing it, but particularly to the victim, to the person on the other side of it. I get Candiace can pop off with her mouth. I get that, Wendy and Mia weren't in a good place and they were saying negative things to each other. But at the end of the day, you can't put your hands on anybody and you can't throw things at people. It's just not okay. But let's get it back into it. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Speaking with the neighborhood talk. Oh, wait, you guys, 1 second. Okay. They'd previously condemned Monique Samuels for her physical altercation with Candiace Dillard. Speaking with the neighborhood talk, Monique shared her thoughts on the recent drama. I don't know the entire story, but I applaud Wendy for not getting physical as I did after I was hit in the face with a glass, said the alum, doubling down on her assertion that Candiace started the past fight. Wendy had every reason to defend herself after being splashed in the face and then apparently hit with a purse, and she chose to use her words instead. That's true. We can't forget about the fact that Mia did, toss her purse at Wendy and ended up breaking her own nails. So, bloop. Okay, but let's keep going. So then Monique continued, one thing Wendy said to me back then at Karen's homes was she would never get physical. She would use her words. Clearly, she lived up to that statement in this moment. I told her at the season 5 reunion, she and her family would be next. The hate with some of these women is not for the camera. They're real life miserable. Side note, I agree with that. I do think that Robin, Giselle, and honestly, at this point, Ashley are very, very miserable. Mia, I don't think Mia is miserable, but I do think that Mia has a lot of issues. I do think that there's insecurity. I do think that there is jealousy going on, but I do think that Robin and Giselle are very miserable. And I think Ashley is just an a hole, just not a nice person. She's very snaky. She's very Ashley, to me, the way she moves, I'm just seeing Ashley for maybe who she's always been, but I'm just seeing her in a very, very different, nasty light. But let's keep going. One thing Wendy should understand is that it's not about her actions or lack thereof. She could have sat there quietly and they still would have found a reason to ice her out. The same ladies who told me words or even antagonizing someone is not grounds for getting physical are defending a person who got physical over Peter Thomas. LOL, just wow. She added, I mean, no lies detected there, Monique. No lies detected there. Now, afterwards, Candiace Dillard clapped back on Twitter, responding directly to Monique's statements. This B is still no one hit you with the glass, wrote Candiace, shared by at the reality rundown on Instagram. Let the lie go. Oof, 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 oof. Okay, this is the thing. A couple of things. Number one, there was something that did happen between Monique and Candiace during their fight prior to Monique putting her hands on Candiace. I think it was either Giselle or someone who like touched her or pulled her back. I don't know. I have no desire to rehash the nitty-gritty of the Monique and Candiace fight. That was season 5. Years have passed. Let it go. Now, do I think that Candiace has really grown since then? Yes, I think she's really matured. I think that she's showing a lot of maturity and growth during this season, handling the drama, handling the allegations, handling the fights, handling the women. So I'm going to give Candiace that. But Candiace, I don't think you need to comment on what Monique is saying in this situation. Like, stay on the high ground. Like, we don't need the nitty gritty of it. Let it be, let it be, let it go. At this point, who cares? Move on. Stop. I have similar but different thoughts on Monique. And of course, you guys, I want to know what you think. Put it down below on all of this stuff. I agree with the majority of what Monique was saying, right? Like, I agree that I applaud Wendy for not getting physical. You know, somebody throwing a drink in your face, somebody antagonizing you, somebody throwing their purse at you. That's a lot. And everyone had been drinking. So I do applaud Wendy for, doing the right thing and not getting physical back. I think Giselle and Robin are extremely hypocritical. I think they're miserable. I think that they had already decided that they were not going to um, embrace or forgive or be friends with Wendy. They just don't like her. They want to ice her out. They're still in their feelings about her reading them down last season. They need to let that go too. There comes a point in time where we just need to let some stuff go. Just let it go. It's not about who's wrong. It's not about who's right. It's not about letting people off the hook. It's just let it go. Like, there comes a time where you just gotta let it go. So I think that's another thing. These chicks need to let it go, but they can't because they need storylines and they need targets, unfortunately. And I don't think they need a target. I think that's what they think. It actually would be a much more entertaining show. It would be a much better show if they were not targeting people, icing people out, lying on people, doing this, that, and the third. It would be a much more enjoyable show than the mess that we're watching right now, right? So I agree with all of that. However, Monique, I think maybe on this one, kind of like a Candiace, you could have sat this one out. Are you inserting yourself in the drama because you want to, get more eyes on the second seasons of The Real Housewives of DC? Is that the situation? Or I'm sorry, Love and Marriage DC? I'm personally not going to be watching season 2 because season 1 was a hot mess. It was slow. It was boring. The way you treated Chris was disgusting, in my opinion. Free Chris, justice for Chris. Also, Monique, like the whole People magazine saying that you and Chris Samuels were getting separated. Ashley said that you guys were getting separated. Then you were like, oh no, this isn't true, blah, 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 blah. And then you did it at YouTube Live. Is all of this just stunts? Is all this just PR to get ratings for season 2 because season 1 was kind of a flop? Is what's going on? Like, that's another thing where I'm like, I didn't need Monique Samuels to weigh in. I didn't need Candiace to weigh in on Monique. With this situation, it's getting really messy. It's getting really dark. And I think what would have been the best is, okay, what happened happened. Mia should have just taken accountability, apologized to Wendy, and then Wendy should have said whatever she needed to say, whatever she needed to do to forgive. I'm not saying that you need to be best friends. I'm not saying you're saying what you did was right. But there comes a time when people just need to grow the F up. And all of this is just getting really messy. It's getting really complicated. It's getting really dark. People are chiming in for clout, for clicks and views. People are chiming in for ratings of their own shows. I'm just kind of like, what happened happened. It's really sad. It's not a good look. Nobody is perfect. Doesn't make it right. But let's put a line under it, because it's going to become just worse and worse and worse. And I think we're at a time where we're just tired of this stuff. We're just kind of tired of it. Like, Monique, shut up. You didn't have to chime in on this. I get it. You, for whatever reason, whatever popped you off, you put your hands on Candiace. Was Candiace wrong for the things she has said and done to you? Yes, she was. But you weren't right to put your hands on her, okay? We get it. But you have a show on OWN now. Go save that show. I just think we need to find a way to move on from this in whatever direction it is. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about Monique chiming in? What do you think about Candiace clapping back? What do you think about Mia taking, quote, accountability, but we haven't seen her publicly apologize to Wendy yet? Again, we haven't seen the episodes after the fight, so we don't know if she apologized on camera. We don't know what the aftermath looked like of the whole altercation. But we do know that now publicly, I haven't seen her directly apologize to Wendy. She said what she did was intolerable, but she didn't say, I'm sorry to Wendy, right? So I want to see, what do you think we need in order to move on? Are you going to keep supporting Potomac? Are you not going to watch? Do you think everybody chiming in just makes it messy and worse? I want to know what your thoughts are. Put it down below. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. And be sure to check out our description box down below and shop our love collection. With that, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye!
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!